All right, let's talk about something that hits home for, well, pretty much all of us. That feeling of being totally stuck, caught in a loop of negativity. If you've ever felt like you're being weighed down by self-doubt, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to map out a path to change, together. So let's get started.
So let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. Do you ever feel trapped? Like you're in this mental loop, and no matter what you do, those same nagging, negative thoughts just keep creeping back in? They cloud your judgment, they hold you back. Sound familiar?
There it is. That inner critic. That little voice that just loves to whisper things like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be able to do that. And if that voice sounds even a little bit familiar, listen up. This is a shared human experience. You are so not alone in this.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to talk about this shared struggle. Then, we'll dive into the amazing science of how you can literally rewire your brain. After that, we'll get into some super simple, practical steps that make a huge difference. And finally, we'll pull it all together to show you how to unlock that incredible strength you already have.
All right, let's dive right into our first section, our shared inner struggle. Because you know what? Before we can change a thing, we've got to be real about the weight of these thoughts and the pressures we all face.
You know this cycle, right? It's that spiral. It gets fed by worries about what's coming next and regrets about what's already happened. It's that constant, nagging pressure to be perfect. And here's the kicker. When we let these thoughts run the show, they don't just stay in our heads, they actually start to shape our reality.
But here's the thing you absolutely have to get. Everyone, and I mean everyone, wrestles with this stuff. It is a fundamental part of being human. And accepting that isn't a sign of weakness, no way. It's actually the first, most powerful step you can take toward making a real change. Okay, this is where things get really cool. Let's get into section 2, rewiring your brain. We're shifting from just understanding the problem to actually exploring the solution. Because positive thinking isn't just some fluffy, wishful thinking. It's a powerful tool, and it's rooted in our own biology.
The magic word here is neuroplasticity. Okay, think of it this way. Imagine the pathways in your brain are like trails in a forest. Your negative thoughts? Those are the super well-worn, easy-to-follow paths you've been walking down for years. But here's the amazing part. Your brain isn't set in stone. Neuroplasticity means you can actually create new trails. Every single time you choose a positive thought, it's like taking a step onto a new path. Do it again, and you start to clear that path, make it stronger, until it becomes the new default. You are literally, physically, rewiring your own mind.
And this isn't just an idea. It's actual chemistry happening inside your brain. When you're stuck in that negative cycle, focusing on problems, your brain releases stress hormones, like cortisol. But the moment you make that conscious shift to focus on solutions instead, your brain rewards you with a hit of endorphins, those amazing feel-good chemicals. It's an instant mood booster.
So what does that chemical shift actually do for you in the real world? Well, when you're up against the challenge, a negative mindset just cranks up the stress. But a positive mindset, it doesn't make the problem vanish, but it builds incredible resilience. It gives you the mental toughness to look that challenge in the eye and see it not as a roadblock, but as a chance to grow. Okay, so we've got the why down. Now for the how. Welcome to section 3. Simple steps, big impact. Think of this as your personal, daily toolkit for building a genuinely positive mindset. We're going to break this down into 3 super simple but powerful practices. These are small things you can do every day that have a massive impact. We're talking daily affirmations, gratitude journaling, and mindful breathing. Let's take a look at each one.
First up, affirmations. Now, these are just positive statements that you repeat to yourself. The goal here? It's actually pretty straightforward. You're intentionally overriding that negative self-talk that's been running on autopilot for so long. By repeating things like this over and over, you're not just saying words, you're literally training your brain to believe them.
Next up, gratitude. And look, this isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about actively training your brain to scan for the good things in your life. Seriously, Just taking 5 minutes, that's it, 5 minutes, to write down a few things you're thankful for can completely change your perspective.
And our third tool, this one is like your emergency brake for a runaway train of thoughts, mindful breathing. The next time you feel that overwhelm kicking in or you're caught in a negative spiral, just pause. Take a few slow, deep breaths. It's amazing how it can instantly break that cycle and give you a moment of peace to reset.
And that brings us to our final section, which is really what this is all about, unlocking your inner strength. Because the biggest realization you can have is that this power, it's not something you need to go out and find. It's already inside of you.
Let me tell you a quick story about someone named Sarah, because I bet a part of her story will sound familiar. Sarah felt completely stuck. Just overwhelmed by self-doubt, you know? She was in a job she didn't like and was just totally convinced that her real dreams were just impossible.
But Sarah decided, you know what? Enough is enough. She started small, using the exact tools we just talked about. Every morning, she started with her affirmations, and every night, she'd take those few minutes for a gratitude journal.
And you know what? At first it was slow, but then something really incredible started to happen. Her entire mindset began to shift. She started seeing possibilities where she used to only see roadblocks. And this wasn't just a change in her head, it led to a real change in her life. Sarah found the courage to start that side business she had always dreamed of.
Sarah's story just proves the most important point of all. Your inner strength, it's not something you have to go out and find. It has always been there. These practices we talked about, they're just the key that finally lets you unlock it.
So, at the end of the day, it all boils down to this one simple truth. Your mindset is the key. You have the power to control it. And when you truly believe that you are strong, that you are capable, and that you are worthy, your actions just naturally start to follow. You pave your own way forward. So, I'm going to leave you with a question. You have the key. You've always had it. The only thing left to decide is, what are you going to unlock?